You guys are feeling with this ferry coming in and out and having this little...
It needs to run more days of the week.
Yes, we are thinking about 2 days, and we had some suggestions, like people said that maybe on a Wednesday and a Saturday, you know, at least in weekend people can be there, and then weekdays, because some people work or they can't get away on a weekday, at least we will have Saturday. So right now, with the Port of Bellingham and us, with the COVID, CARES Act dollars, we can fund it till end of this year. We know for sure. So I have had a conversation with the governor, and you guys probably hear about all that. We had talked to the CS.
We also just wanted to know an update on exactly what you're talking about.
Yes, please, come on in, join us. And he has written a letter to Prime Minister Trudeau. He personally talked to the Canadian ambassador in Washington, D.C. And he is also, we have made a request to give us some special funding for the ferry. So it's in the works. You know how it takes a little time. So we are hoping that if we can get some extra funding, that we can extend it another 3 months after, because COVID doesn't know it's the year end. You know, COVID is gonna be COVID. Our budgets have a year end. So we are struggling with that, what we would do come December 31st, where the dollars have been given to us from the CARES Act. The deadline is December 31st. We cannot spend beyond that. We can spend only on certain things. So we are reaching out to the federal government as well as our local state government to give some flexibility. We think that when this started in March, everybody thought, oh, it's a 3, 4, 5 month thing and it'll go away. Nobody had idea that it will be so much, than what we thought. And that's why when the CARES Act passed, they brought the money. It was meant to be for first 4, 5, 6 months at the most. And 6 months are already gone by. And it's still there. And we think it'll be with us for another 6 months, right? So what we are saying to the federal government, that give us a little flexibility, maybe not new money, but in the money you've given us, give us a little more flexibility that we can do. Each jurisdiction have their unique situation. What we do, Skagit does different, King County would do different. So why don't you give us some flexibility, local jurisdiction, to use their money, what their needs are. Like Point Roberts is really unique in the whole nation. So we'll see that we have made our, we appreciate you writing letters and reaching out. We totally appreciate that, because it makes it people know that local people are active and they're involved and they want to see some things here. And of course, we have a task force, but it's still between two nations. It's not that we can talk to people in Blaine or people here, say, okay, why don't we make this arrangement? We can't do that. It has to be in Ottawa and Washington, D.C. Everything has to happen there. So, and this is the first time between US and Canada that this border has been closed last 150 years. It's never has happened. Even at 9/11, the border was closed for like 2 days. And so this is something unique. And we found out that you guys read in the paper that New Brunswick has the opposite place, that they have to go through Canada like this, US through like this, you know. So I think the people are more aware at the federal level, and they are trying their best to find out or come up with a solution. We think that if they leave it more leeway to the local authorities, means the county government, the BC government, Washington state, even at that level, we can come up with a better solution. But if they allow us, give us a little more flexibility. So we are hoping for that.
What would be the kinds of solutions they might possibly come up with?
Well, possibly come up with that the scrutiny that whatever is federal government is doing on Canadian side, our side, they are looking at 4,000 miles of border and one size fits all, right? But if they allow us flexibility, we can have some registration or tags for people that, okay, they are bona fide residents of their own property. Even Canadians, they show that there is property, they get some kind of verification in addition to their ID, and then they can come and look after their property, and vice versa, right? Or like people used to come from US and they said, oh, we're going to Alaska. And they went to Banff and had fun for a week and then came back.
Yeah, that is really old news.
Yeah, but what I mean is,
blown out of proportion.
But what it does is, when it reaches Ottawa, they just look at one thing and they say, okay, clamp it down. And that's what happened.
But because it's on a federal level, and we know that, you know, Point Roberts can't be an exception for the entire country. So doesn't it have to, wouldn't they have to encompass places like Buffalo and make the same rules for us as Buffalo? Like, they can't just say, okay, Point Roberts, you're special, but what about people on the East Coast?
You're right, and that's their current thinking is that one size fits all. What we are saying is there any flexibility with that gives some leeway for the local jurisdictions, at least state level?
I'd like to add into that. So I'm on the county task force, cross-border task force. I'm Chief Carlton, and we've been working with the county executive's office and the state and our federal delegation as well. But if this goes into 21, we're asking that it starts being looked at regionally in a perspective,
Right.
and different ports of entry, with both sides being viewed on what their COVID issues are, and possibly not having a one-size-fits-all, but doing it regionally. Point Roberts, we're trying to get looked at as independently because we are removed from the United States. We have no contact, and we're more part of Canada kind of in this pandemic than we are the United States. So regional perception in 21 or later this year is going to have to probably come to completion, just to start opening up the border along the United States of 49th. But that's with thanks to the county exec's office and everybody else that's working on this on the federal level. Hopefully we'll have some type of view on that, because keeping everything closed and a one size fits all is very difficult for both countries.
Yeah. But one of the things that we were able to do very early was for emergency evacuation, because we did not know if there are more people sick here or we need hospitalization and things. What do we do? That part was agreed to. Or the school kids, you know, going to Blaine, and then even the lunches for them to they able to bring it. So those issues were very critical at the start of this thing, because we wanted to have that kind of you know, some solution to that. So those were kind of agreed to. But I think that now it's so many months and people's lives you know, put on hold. doctor's appointments, other, just generally, you are kind of locked here, to be able to go visit, go places, right? So I think they are also looking in a different way now. Before it was only, it's only for 3 months. So don't complain. Just shut up and sit in your home. It's not that anymore, So it's becoming more serious, and I think that they realize, but we don't know.
Something we've tried to continue with Point Roberts is showing how disproportionately we are affected versus anywhere else. I mean, there's Hyder, Alaska, there's Campbell Island, New Brunswick, there's us, and there's the Northwest Passage, I think. Lake of the Woods.
Angle.
Yeah. And here, the thing that people need to understand of the disproportionality of how we're affected is we're unable to get regional draw still.
Yeah, we don't have a hospital.
So, Blaine, Sumas, Linden, anywhere else across the 49th, when you're talking about countries, Tsawwassen, Abbotsford, they still have community and regional draw into their businesses, right? Where Blaine still can get anybody from the United States, right? Anybody can come up from Seattle and go to Blaine, no problem. But we don't have that regional draw here in Point Roberts, which really separates us out from other places around the 49th. And our economy here, in perspective to other places, that disproportionality is affecting us beyond, other locations. So,
I have a question about, because the ferry is in operation, I have a doctor's appointment that won't work around the ferry. Am I going to get extra scrutiny when I'm not? Okay,
So
I
what
just
you need
show
to do
them
is
I've
you
got
need to
my
print off your
thing.
doctor's appointment. Have them send you something. You'll be allowed to transit by ground.
Okay, I'll just have the email on my phone.
Yep, which is fine. You can pass that on. They can verify if need to. But
Okay, guys, the ferry people are ready to
Bye.
leave.
Thank
So
you.
I just wanted to calm myself and show my face here. Maybe we'll get together. Maybe we will get together again. Thank you very much, guys.
So I don't need
please
to worry
do.
about that dentist appointment in October.
You